Well, hey there, my friends. Welcome to my channel, Ink and Whimsy. I hope you're ready for a little bit of fun today. We're going to be using the gorgeous Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper called Country Woods. It doesn't even look like something you'd see in a garden. To me, I always think seaside scrapbook spreads. So I'm excited as to what we're going to document today. And it's when we went on a family cruise to the Mediterranean and we were on the island of Mykonos to see the windmills. So I found this on Amazon. I can't tell you the product name, but if you just search dyes for fishnets, this is a very old, close to my heart set just to cut tabs. So we've made a couple of tabs because we're going to have a couple of secret pull tabs to show photos. And then, of course, Seaside Wishes by Stampin' Up! And this has some really neat die cuts and then also a 3D embossing, which gives you some beautiful pieces of ephemera to be able to work with. Here are the only sheets of cardstock we're going to be using. This is where we're going to create page A, and then we do the big reveal, and you're going to see page B. And this right here is my favorite 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. Here are the photos. These right here are the actual windmills of Mykonos, and this is going to be our secret pull tab. This is a photo of our son standing there just looking out at the water. Here is a close-up of the windmills, and here's an even closer look at one of them. And you always see little sparrows building nests up in there. And then, of course, here's me with sweet Diana Rose. We were walking some of the side streets, and it was just so magical. I absolutely loved it. All right, now the first part of our title is called The Windmills, so I have that ready. I did a little bit of creative journaling because I wanted to be able to put a cluster down here on the page. You'll see that when we get to it. So I just kept moving the words over once I had it fit. And then the one color we're going to be stamping with is Night of Navy. And then here are our beautiful pieces of ephemera for one of the clusters we're going to make because the other two are on page B. So I am going to move all this away so we can get started. I know you're as excited as I am to see it all come together. It really is just fun to scrapbook, isn't it? All right, let's move these here. I'll put these right over here. What was the last page you scrapbooked? What was the story you were telling? I'd love to hear. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is do our top and our bottom. And I want this piece, we're going to put this down. You know how that bothers me. And it just starts moving all over the place. So let's take care of stressor number one before the inevitable stressor number two happens during my video, because that is always inevitable. All right, here we go. So I want this one up at the top. And then here is a very thin piece. This is probably a 1/4 inch. Yeah. This is going to go up here. And then we're putting, excuse me, this piece. It's going to hold our photos. And then these two are going to go down on the very bottom right here. So let's get these attached. I love this orange wood. I'm not sure if that's Calypso Coral or it could be, I don't know. Look at that shade. Isn't that beautiful? It's not Calypso Coral. It's a lot lighter. It could just be like a petal pink, but you know me. I don't know my colors. So we'll just let that go where it is. All right. This is also a beautiful piece of cardstock. This definitely makes me think of the beach. But of course, you know, Country Woods, because that's what it's called. If someone had a birdhouse made out of wood and it was weathered and worn, that would be neat, right? So it could be that. And you always got to use the other side. You got to give one side up to use the other side. It's always almost heart-wrenching, especially if you like them both. I'm going to put this one about right here. Here we go. Of course, this one's pretty too. And look at the back of this one. So if you like this, I'd buy a couple of the sets just so you have it on hand, right? We mustn't hoard, we must use it. All right, now this one, we're going to use this Tombow glue, and I'm going to steadily go along it. And try to pick it up and not get glue on my fingers, because then we have the stickiness. All right, here we go. Now look how pretty this looks, and it's not a whole lot of paper being used, is it? All right, now the title is going to go up here, but I want to do some stamping just around here. And I've used this same stamp on page B. And we're going to use this little stamp right here. I'm going to get it out because I was not ready. Okay, there we go. Put that right there. Grab our little stamping block. Okay, and it's so little, I don't think I need anything underneath this, but I may eat my words momentarily, so we will see. And that looks perfect. And I want to move this over, so it's going to go about right there. There we go. And now we're going to do one on the other side, the windmills. We'll go right there. You notice my hand starts to go down. I'm shaking because I get a little nervous that I'm going to move the stamp, but just the actual nervousness almost makes me move the stamp, which is almost ridiculous. All right, so now I am going to put down the windmills, and the way I do it is I take off the letters and I put them all in my hand, and then I lay down this T-square ruler exactly where I want it to be, and I just take them off and lay them down. So I will be right back. I think that looks great. Now, the one thing else I wanted to share with you is when you have the alpha stickers on your hand, it really helps to use a pair of tweezers because you can pick it right up and set it down. Otherwise, this is just me. Whenever I've used my fingers and I'm trying to set it down, my hand is in the actual way of my being able to see whether I have it straight. Like right here, I probably used my hand before I remembered my smart tip, and oh, here we go. It looked crooked. I tried to fix it. Let's get it straight. It's that top bit of the L. All right, so let's put down the journaling, and I'm not going to go around the edges because I want it to blend in more right here. Or should I? What do you think? I could do it in a light brown. All right, let's do that. Well, we're going to see if this is a good idea. I really don't see how it could be a bad idea, but you know how that goes. I just want a real light edge to it. Give a little bit of definition. You could actually use a blending brush and kind of go into it a little bit. That might look pretty too. I think that'd have to be a real light color. All right, I like that. Well, we're sticking with it now, aren't we? Let's lay this down. I'll put this one right here. I'll go over to the side. That was a good choice. And I do want it to be straight with that. There we go. It'll all blend in as soon as we start getting all the pictures down. So let's put some of them down, and then we will do our cluster. All right. So this photo of my granddaughter Diana Rose and I, we're going to have the photo that peeks out and is going to come out from the side here. So we can peel this off. And it's real important whenever you're putting a secret pull tab that you hold the photo to the back and where you want the pull tab to show so that it's not too high, not too low, like Goldilocks. It's just right, right? So it's going to go like this, pulled out here. So I'm going to set this down, and it's going to go let me show you. Once I have that in there, it's going to go about right there. So I'm going over. I want this about right here. There we go. And I want some of the top showing. And I'm pulling that out just so that I don't accidentally stick the back of it onto the top of this. So we'll set that there. And now we're going to arrange our photos down here. And I wanted the larger one in the middle, Dwayne looking off over the water, but he'll also be looking over onto the second page. Then this is a close-up of one of the windmills. And once I show you page B, I will read the journaling because there's really some neat information about Mykonos and what they use those windmills for. Now, don't be enlarging it. I know what you're trying to do. You have to let me read the story. I practice reading these stories before I actually do the video for all of you. So I'm not stumbling all over my words. I enjoy that. Look at it as library story time. You get to enjoy me reading the story. And like we say, you get to take your screenshot without all my hands in the way. Okay, we are getting there, friends. Now, remember I showed you the fishing net that I ordered. It's right here. It's that big. It also comes with some fish. Just look up fishing net, Amazon. I crinkled mine up a little bit, kind of give it that more of that look of a net. I'm going to open it up, and it's going to go right here. Now I am going to need this because I want it to go under here a little bit. Let's get that started. I'm just going to stick that right there. And to go down some more, I want to get it set just right so it's coming. There we go, see? All right. I think that's good. Now we're going to add this circle right here that I cut out with, oh, I believe it's this one, Spotlight on Nature Dies. I didn't even try saying it before I said it to all of you because you know that I tend to get that one messed up. And take your pick tool, don't I? Those that have been with me a while, you know that. All right, want this up just a little bit. I'm going to move that down. And then this is one of the sand dollars that I cut out using this embossing set right here. It is so neat. It gives embossing on the front and the back, and then you have the die that will actually cut it out once you have it embossed like that. It cuts it out at the same time. It's pretty cool. So you can't see it, but it also has embossing on the back there. So we're going to put this one in. Make sure I'm putting glue on the correct side. And this one's going to go over on the photo a little bit. Right there. Okay. Actually, I want it coming a little bit right there. All right. And now we have this pretty little piece that was also in that same set. I'm going to put a piece of tip glue just right here. I want to move that right here. See how we're building up the cluster to kind of frame the words down there? Did y'all catch that? Okay, let's put this one down. This is going to go more on the top. That right there. And let's put this one right here. All right. Now we have our teeny little starfish that was starting to slip away. And I used all the colors from the cardstock in this designer series paper. Okay, we're going to put that right there. And then this larger starfish, I'm just going to kind of bend up the ends of it with my thumb. And we're going to put this one right over here. And I'm going to slip the photo in so you can see how it looks. This one right here. Doesn't that cluster look pretty? I love it. We're going to hold it down just for a sec. All right. let's slip our photo in, and then we are going to do, wait a minute, we have to move this. This is tip number 3462. Have your secret photo in so you know it can slide. All right, there it is, and that's moved down. All right, we have saved the day. All right, my friends, are you ready for the big reveal? Don't go anywhere because I'm going to bring everything together. I am so excited to show you this double page spread. I absolutely love how it all came together using the Country Woods Designer Series paper, and then this stamp set right here with also the 3D embossing. All right, so here we go. Let me pull this aside. I want to show you this pull tab over here because here is the second photo that I wanted to include. And then, of course, we have the one that we did right over here. All right, so while you're able to take your snapshot so that you can save it for some inspiration later, I'm going to read you the journaling. Mykonos is a beautiful Greek island surrounded by the Aegean Sea with its whitewashed buildings and narrow winding cobblestone streets. The bougainvillea flowers spilling over the balconies just make a picture-perfect postcard. In mythology, it was the site of the great battle between Zeus and the Titans. The Katomili windmills, which are all these right here, were built by the Venetians who once ruled the island, whitewashed with thatched roofs, using their wooden sails that harnessed the strong northern winds sweeping across the Aegean Sea to mill their grain. As time has passed, they are used now for some private residences and museums. Swallows and sparrows make their homes and dance among the wood and the straw roofs. It was a beautiful, breezy morning to walk among the windmills with the Aegean Sea lapping at its shores. And this was back in October of 2023. So these thatched roofs, I remember standing there just being mesmerized watching the birds flitting in and out and making their nests in there. So I like the way it came together. I have the windmills of Mykonos. You can see that I elevated this photo here of Diana Rose. It has a double mat. And so these are maybe 2x3s, I think. And I have a cluster here. So your eye goes from this cluster over here and here. And this is one of my favorite photos. It's of the doors. Do any of you take photos of doors? When they're that beautiful, I certainly do. All right, my friends, it's been so much fun spending this time with you. Thanks for the thumbs up and letting me know you enjoyed the video. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. And until we meet again, stay scrappy. God bless you and have a great day. Bye-bye.